Hey everybody, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Nothing's going on. Welcome to another edition of the On The Go podcast. I'm your host, James Jackson, and the guy that's on the keyboards, the one that controls all the music and controls all the technical stuff, Jacob the Tone. Jacob, what's going on, man?
Hey, I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That sounded really robotic how I said that.
I am doing well.
I had to focus because I don't want to mess it up anymore.
Yeah, since you're on the technical side now.
I've been on a good streak. I haven't messed up the how you doings.
You haven't
In a while.
At this point, I just come numb to it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just become numb to it. I was like, he doing all right. He ain't nothing going on now.
Exactly. But no, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's our Friday edition. We got some juicy things to talk about today.
Yeah, we got some Oscar stuff to talk about. We got some theories that you put together for Spider-Man that you dug out of a book.
Well, I have a whole new segment I'm introducing, and it's sort of related, but it's not gonna always be related. So I just want to point that out.
Okay,
but we'll get to that towards the end here.
And we also got a new trailer to talk about.
We do have a new trailer to talk about. We're good.
We got some stuff today.
Sound like Porky Pig. We
good.
We got a lot on our plate. But you've been watching anything this week? Anything new? Anything you've seen?
No, I just been keeping up with football lately because the playoffs is almost here. I'm sorry, the playoffs already here. AFC Championship.
Speaking of that, have you seen that meme going around where some news station, like on their little cron at the bottom, or I guess it wasn't their cron, it was like a whole image, but basically it said who was going to be playing the Super Bowl this year.
Oh yeah,
have you seen that meme?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay,
it's basically because one of my coworkers been telling me about it. It's like, oh, they predicted the Super Bowl already by the logo. I say, look, sure, if you don't watch football, no, stop it. But what's determined is what determined. Okay, right. The games still have to be played out on the field.
Yeah,
but I just been watching football and stuff like that, and it was raining It was raining so hard. So I really couldn't go anywhere to do anything special.
Weird. We've had so much like weird, crazy weather this week.
Torrential downfall too.
I know talking about weather is dangerous, but freezing and then raining and then sunny and then all like I don't know what's going on with Texas weather is always random.
And people just getting sick left and right.
Yeah,
allergies are acting up.
Yeah.
Like luckily, I think I was sick like the week before, but now I'm good now.
Good.
Like, I had like a scratchy throat, but I got rid of that.
Nice.
Like in a hurry. I'm good at getting rid of like coldness and sicknesses.
Yeah.
In a hurry.
Down some cough syrup.
Yeah, I drink that stuff like Sprite.
Nice.
Drink it like liquor.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I know you're not supposed to. Yeah.
I think that's technically a drug.
Yeah, you're right. I just put in like a little 40 bags.
Yeah.
A little brown paper bag and just start chunking it. So yeah, but I do that. Drink orange juice. That's how I'm able to keep my immune system as good as I possibly can.
I've been drinking orange juice recently too.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
I know it's very acidic. I think you're not supposed to, but I don't care.
It's delicious.
It's delicious. It's the most scrumptious drink in the world.
Yeah.
Like I hate apple juice.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of apple juice either.
I've never been a big fan of apple juice. People love it.
It's weird.
Like the only thing apple juice is good for is like if you got what you call it, constipation.
Oh really?
Yeah, it helps with that.
I didn't know.
Yeah, if you got constipation, that's what you're supposed to drink. That's what old people used to give you back in the day.
Interesting.
Apple juice and prune juice.
Oh, I've always heard about prune juice.
Yeah, all that's supposed to help you for constipation.
Yeah.
So
strange.
If you ever constipated, Jacob, just let me know so I can get you some apple juice.
No, I think I'll write it out. I think.
Oh, so you just go down the toilet? I'm like, yeah. Okay, sure, all right.
Oh, I've always wanted to go out like Elvis,
Yeah, right. Eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah, on the toilet or whatever. Yeah.
Was that true? Did he really die like that?
I think so. I know he died on the toilet. I don't know about the peanut butter jelly sandwich part.
Well, that was his favorite snack.
Yeah.
He loved eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So if you're gonna ride out, you gotta ride out just like that.
Well, I'll do some research and I'll get back to you. I'll let you know. James, I can't record this week. I'm going out like Elvis.
Okay, hey man, go right ahead. I'll do a eulogy on the go. The last on the go episode.
Yeah.
Have like a black logo.
That'd be awful.
That would be sad,
terrible.
Man. That's a terrible story.
Anyway, so we've still been watching King of the Hill.
Oh, you're still on King of the Hill? Huh?
Man, we are at this point. We're just trying to finish. I'm trying to get us to finish because Khadija last night was like, "Oh, maybe we should start watching Psych," and I was like, "We got to finish King of the Hill." And she looked at me and I was like, "We have to finish King of the Hill."
She's tuned out. She's done.
She's
done, man.
We have it on in the background. It's not that big a deal. Like we're on season 8, and there have been not funny episodes, but there's been a couple funny bits from some of the episodes recently. Like last night, we watched the episode where some ex-football player moves into the neighborhood, and he's some football player from the 70s. I think he played for the Cowboys or whatever, but I don't remember his name. I don't even follow football like that.
You sure don't.
So he moves into the neighborhood, and Hank's like all excited about it. This guy is just a bad dude. He's throwing house parties. He's polluting the neighborhood. He's breaking all the block rules. Hank, as block captain, has to enforce it eventually. At first he lets him slide, and then it comes to a point where he's like, "Hey man, you got to stop doing this stuff." And then the funny bit comes from Bobby is hanging out with this guy, getting football tips, right? And Bobby comes up to Hank. He's like, "Hey, Dad! Like, I'm gonna show you what this guy showed me how to block or something." And so he's playing football with Joseph, and Joseph he throws the ball to Joseph. Joseph has the ball, and he's like running, and Bobby just comes up and sucker punches him in the face.
Oh god!
But just a scene of like Joseph running, and then Bobby, the way they animated it, because like it's it's the King of the Hill animation, so it's not the animation we have today.
Well, Bobby is so impressionable.
Right.
I think that's the word, impressionable.
Impressionable, yeah.
So it's like anything you tell him to do, he'll do it.
Exactly. And it's just the way it's animated and the way it looks on screen is just
it was funny.
Yeah. So,
I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check that one out.
I'll have to show you after we record, but it was funny to me. And then there was another bit where one of the next episodes was Hank is running low on testosterone, so he's becoming like this cranky man because he needs testosterone. And they're all talking about like testosterone or whatever. And Dale goes, "Oh, Joseph has a lot of testosterone. Like he's ready to wrestle anytime." And Joseph is walking down the street. It's funny these both involve Joseph, but Joseph is coming up the street or whatever. And Dale goes, "Hey, Joseph, want to wrestle?" And then Joseph just like tackles him off screen. And you just hear Dale like screaming for help.
Yeah. You know how Dale usually screams.
Yeah.
That's
that was just a little funny bit. Like that's it. The episodes I couldn't tell you much more about, but like those two were like, okay.
Well, yeah.
Good bits. Good bits.
Like I say, as the season goes on, like I said, it became less funny to me. So I stopped watching King of the Hill.
You're right.
Like after season 6, I kind of stopped watching it. And then it became like background noise to me. Like the newer episodes. I thought King of the Hill should have ended a long time ago anyway.
Yeah. I did see a clip of Mike Judge doing an interview, and he was talking about how he came up with the Boomhauer voice. And apparently there was some guy who was maybe involved in the show like way back. He got a voicemail from the guy because when they were first creating it, for some reason the guy thought the show was called Porky's Butthole. I have no idea why. Is in the interview.
Porky's Butthole. All right.
No idea why. But the guy called up Mike Judge and left his angry voicemail about it being called Porky's Butthole, but he sounded exactly like Boomhauer. Like he talked like Boomhauer. Yeah, like dangle, this and that, and dangle, and blah blah blah, and that's how he came up with Boomhauer's like voice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a cool tidbit.
Yeah. I mean, that's stuff they would put on like a DVD.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
It probably came from a DVD, but it was like on the Reddit, so
that's
where I saw it from.
Okay. Yeah, so the Oscars are right around the corner. Actually, we're in the midst of award season, so everyone's getting all type of nominations and stuff like that. I think
we had the Grammys, the Emmys, and
the Grammys are usually like in February.
Oh, okay.
And then they move the Oscars to March, so it'll be like March 20th, I think so.
Yeah,
it's usually on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I think next is the BAFTAs, and then after that you got the Screen Actors Guild Award, then it's the Oscars. So not really any big upsets, poor little things. I think Oppenheimer's nominated for like damn near all the awards.
It was a huge movie.
Every single award that you can think of. So I think they're gonna probably be the big win of the whole Oscar thing. But that's no big controversy. The only controversy there is that Ryan Gosling got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for playing Ken.
I had seen that.
Which I have no problem with that. I thought he was the best part of that.
It's accurate, right? Best Supporting Actor.
America Ferrera, she was also nominated for Best Supporting Actress from Barbie. I think I know how she got that nomination. I think because of the little speech she gave about being a woman.
Oh yeah.
I think that speech right there is what just sold it and just like, hey, we gotta get her in there.
Yeah.
You know, I know some people kind of a little butthurt that what
The speech from the movie, or did she make a separate? Okay,
that's the speech
cool.
from the movie that she did.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page there, because that's what I picked it up as, and then I thought maybe she'd made another speech.
No, that's the speech that she made in the movie.
Okay,
where I think people just like, okay, yeah, that's what sold it for them.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and nominate her.
Yeah,
I think some people kind of hurt that The Color Purple wasn't nominated, but Color Purple lost a lot of steam. Like it started good at Christmas time, then it just died down.
Well, for one, who out there was looking for a Color Purple reboot? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's not really a reboot though, because it's like it's going according to the book. So this is the actual story of how it actually went.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually it's more factually to that than it is the actual the movie that came out like in 1980s. And what's the name? Steven Spielberg and Oprah had a big hand on making it.
I saw that.
I thought it was a very well written, and I'm not like I love musicals.
It's a musical?
Yeah, it's a musical.
What?
Because they're doing it based off the play. Because it was based off a play.
Everyone's doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
Mean
Girls did it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think all the numbers were good. You know what? We must didn't talk about this on the review because I could have sworn I talked about this. But yeah, the movie was great. All the actors were great. Fantasia she was awesome. Taraji Kaminga was also great as Mr. Yeah, so it came out during Christmas time. Didn't get a lot of traction. It's gonna happen. It's a stack. It was also a stacked card too.
Yeah.
It was a stack full dance card of movies.
Yeah.
So, it's going to happen sometime. The biggest snub was Margot Robbie not be nominated for Best Actress.
And Greta Gerwig.
Which is, I did find a little stupid and kind of weird. It's like, Greta Gerwig, she made the film.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for Greta Gerwig, the film would never got made if it was not for her.
You're right.
It's like,
yeah.
And then you didn't nominate Margot Robbie. I'm like, well, she's nominated for Best Picture. Yeah. But there's even more reason for you to nominate her for Best Actress.
Right. And yeah, because she's in the movie. She's in the main character. So why just for best picture but not Best Actress? Who was nominated for Best Actress? Like what?
Emma Stone.
In that category.
Emma Stone. Maybe you can pull it up so we. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because Emma Stone. She was for Poor Things, which I have not saw yet, which I probably might see today.
I haven't seen that one either. It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's really, really weird. But I heard it's pretty damn good. I think Lily Gladstone from Kills of the Flower Moon is in there as well.
Yeah, you got Emma Stone, Lily Gladstone.
Yeah, Kills of the Flower Moon.
Annette Bening from Naiad.
Yeah, I never saw that movie.
Carey Mulligan from Maestro.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either with Bradley Cooper.
It's only Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Sandra Huller for Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. Like, I heard that was a good movie too as well. I gotta catch it. I gotta watch that one too.
Which that's not a large list of people. You could have had Margot Robbie on there.
You could have just slapped her on there. But the politics of it all, man. The politics of it all.
I think part of what annoys people about this is coming like a week or two after that Ken song got nominated for Best Song in a movie. And it's just like, what are we doing? What?
Yeah,
that really shocked a lot. That even shocked Ryan Gosling.
That
whole meme of his response, his face or whatever, where it's like, why is this nominated?
It was a good song.
It's a good song, but it's also a dumb song. You know what I mean? It's not meant to be an award-winning song from a movie.
Well, I mean, just think I would nominated for an Oscar. People really got upset.
Yeah, because I feel like at that point it's just I don't know. You're just being nice to the poor kid or something. You know what I mean? It's
probably.
Like, all right, here you go. Here's your award. You should be happy about this thing.
It was kind of cool though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of cool. I don't know. I just think it's the politics of it all. It's just the Oscars don't get it right all the time, and they all the time, almost all the time they never get it right. So
I think on the back end it's kind of a money game.
It probably is.
I think Denzel had kind of exposed it minorly a few years ago. I don't know if it was for the Oscars or maybe for some other award show, but it is almost like a campaign. Like you campaign to win, and
campaign for
you have your donors, and you have like there is money involved, and there's some shady stuff on the back end, which is it's weird because it is just an award show. Like it should, but also it's like who's judging these things?
Yeah, it also happened last year too with another young lady that was supposed to get an Oscar nod over Viola Davis, and Viola Davis didn't get an Oscar nod for Woman King. And there was a lot of controversies talking about, those politics again. First time Disney has not been nominated for Best Animated Film.
That doesn't surprise me. Disney's been
Pixar got in. I said, ain't this something? Elemental.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. But it's funny because people forget that Pixar isn't exclusively Disney.
It's exclusive. Mm-hmm.
It is their own company.
Yeah.
So I see like they got around it that way.
They're able to get in by the back door.
Yeah, it's associated with Disney, but it's not technically. It's really not Disney. It's a company.
And Spider-Man was also nominated as well.
Good.
But it's not gonna win.
They were talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That should have got in. That should have got. Guess what got in? The Boy and the Heroine. And that's gonna win. The Boy and the Heroine was.
Oh, it's Ghibli. Yeah, of course it's gonna win.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me with this crap. That wasn't even a good movie. That movie was not good at all.
Oh yeah.
No one saw it. No one liked it.
Robert Pattinson was the Heron, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, I think he played he had some crazy voice. It was a huge deal that he was playing the Heron.
I didn't know that. All I know is I saw it. I did not like it. It was a very overrated film. No one saw it. That was probably one of Ghibli's worst films.
Okay, so the list is Nimona, which is I told you about this movie before. It was a Netflix film, which I'm surprised this.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I was surprised too. A lot of people were surprised that on there
because I mean it's fine. I don't think it's like
I didn't think it was an Oscar.
Picture. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some show or movie called Robot Dreams. Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
Then you got The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, and then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Watch Robot Dreams.
Dreams.
You're gonna say to yourself, the Oscars are really trying to change a little bit because the animation style and all that. You're like, really? This guy, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's pretty good.
I see what you mean about the animation style though. It's like what?
Yeah. You'll be surprised, but
it looks very basic.
It looks very basic, but good story.
It's based off a book, I suppose.
Yeah, based off
a book cover here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. It's all good. Spider-Man nominated, all right, because they didn't get Golden Globe. Boy and the Heroine got a Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature. I was like, okay, cool, whatever.
I think that's just like a legacy thing, right? It's Ghibli, so automatically people are like, oh, Ghibli.
Godzilla -1 also got a
yeah, no, I did see that. Technical. Yeah, everyone's happy about that because it's Godzilla.
Hey, it's Oscars, Godzilla, right? You can't beat that.
Yeah, strange times.
Iron Claw. I'm a little shocked to not get any love. Zac Efron did not get any love at all for Best Actor or anything. I was like, really? I really enjoyed that film.
Khadija was telling me something. I was telling her I was planning on watching it recently, but I never got around to it.
What?
Unfortunately, Iron Claw. But I was telling her about it. I was like, hey, I think I'm going to go see Iron Claw, this day or whatever. And she goes, and I was telling her, it's the wrestling movie with Zac Efron. And she's like, yeah, I was surprised he played in that movie because I guess like doing Baywatch kind of gave him a complex over his look, like his physicality and stuff like that. I'm bringing it up because I want to ask if you've heard about that. Like, do you?
No, I just, if anything, I thought Baywatch really messed his career up. It really,
Baywatch was the one?
Yeah, Baywatch, it really, really, really dumbed down his career hard. So I thought that after Baywatch, he was never going to get it. He was never going to get the stardom that he wanted. Because he's supposed to be on that trajectory to really do something after High School Musical. And he did a couple comedies, he did like Neighbors and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's done a few things.
But, and did Bad Grandpa. Was it called Bad Grandpa, I think it was?
Yeah, Bad Grandpa.
He did that.
That was a weird movie.
That was a weird movie. But, Baywatch, everybody suffered doing that film. And a lot of
because it's one of those things where it's like nobody's asking for this.
Yeah, no one asked for that.
You got The Rock in there. You got to compete. You got to act next to The Rock.
Exactly.
I can see how that gives you a complex alone. Like you're supposed to be in this sexy film.
Yeah.
And the main dude is like 2 times bigger than you are.
And Yahya Abdul-Mateen was in there too. He plays the police guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought that was gonna really derail his career, but it didn't. He was able to bounce back, man. He was really good in that movie. I really thought he was going to get nominated for Best Actor. At least a nomination. But stacked card. It's a stacked dance card. You got Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
You got your boy Paul Giamatti, Cillian Murphy, Jeffrey Wright. Come on, man. You can't beat that. And Bradley Cooper. So you got all these guys you got to compete with for Best Actor.
Too many people.
There's no way, no hell you're going to win it. Oppenheimer's going to take the rest of the night. Like, we already know that. I think Cillian Murphy should win for Best Actor. I'm not sure. You said Legacy Award, right?
Mm-hmm.
Paul Giamatti's been up for an Oscar before.
Yeah.
I think for Sideways, which was like years ago.
Right.
This could be his year to get one. Even though I don't think his role was that transformative in Holdovers, Cillian Murphy was a lot more transformative, so they might just give it to him just for the hell of it. I know Christopher Nolan's going to win for Best Director.
Of course.
He should.
Yeah.
If you're not going to give it to Gerwig, you got to give it to Christopher Nolan.
Wait, what did Nolan direct this year?
Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
sorry, I blanked out. I was like, wait a minute, what did he direct?
So yeah, he should probably take the rest of the night for him. I'm shocked that Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't nominated either for Kills of the Flower Moon.
It took him a while to get the one Oscar.
True.
Remember, that was a whole meme for years.
Once again, stacked dance card.
Yeah.
It looked like it was not a lot of movies, but it was a lot of movies that came out this year.
I didn't realize like 2023 actually had so many.
Mm-hmm. Had those undercover movies.
Yeah.
Like Barbie, you know doggone well, Barbie would have never seen the light of day if we had even more movies than that.
Yeah.
Not an Oscar-wise.
I mean, well, part of what made Barbie so successful is the weird dual viral marketing they did with Oppenheimer.
The marketing definitely worked.
100%. If it didn't come out against Oppenheimer, I don't think it would have worked as much. I mean, it still would have made money. People would have still went to go see it. But it was the viral campaign of like Barbenheimer, do the double feature thing, have a lot of fun. I don't know. Whatever magic they managed to do with that got Barbie to where it needed to be.
Well, it was a phenomenon. It was a phenomenon. And plus, the strike was ready to start up, the actor strike.
You're right. Well, it started just before they released.
Right, just before they released. Yeah. So it's like they didn't have a lot left.
Right. And they knew that was coming, so they were pumping out the marketing.
Let's pump out as much marketing as we possibly can.
Yeah. So, again, lightning in a bottle when that happened. It was just like there was so many factors that really brought it up.
I've never seen anything like it, man. People were watching Barbie. No. They would wear pink, and then they would come back and watch the next showing for Oppenheimer. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. And then movie companies tried to do that again with Saw and Paw Patrol. And it's just like, no, guys, you missed the point. You missed the whole thing. Yeah, exactly.
Like that felt like. So, yeah, man, I just want to talk a little bit of the Oscars because I always love to see people get their due or get achievement for things that they do. American Fiction also, too. Jeffrey Wright. Been a good actor for years.
Yeah.
Good movie. If you haven't saw American Fiction, go check it out. I'm telling everybody that right now. Very good movie.
I mean, you telling me about it before we started recording made me want to go watch it. Actually, it seems like a cool idea.
It's a solid premise, man. So yeah, if you haven't watched that, Jeffrey Wright, Sterling K. Brown, who else is in there? Erica Alexander from Living Single. Please check it out, people. You're gonna love it.
James, I don't know if you heard about this recently. I think it just came out like 4 or 5 days ago, but I guess they made like a Pauly Shore starring short film about Richard Simmons.
Heard about it, just didn't watch it.
So I have to look up what it's called again.
Well, while you're looking it up, let me give some backstory to some people that might not know who Richard Simmons is. Richard Simmons was like this fitness guru. He would help these people that were obese, overweight, always joyous, always never with the negativity. He was gay, of course, and he was
he gay? Was he confirmed gay?
Yeah, he was gay.
Oh, I thought it was like a flamboyant.
Oh no!
Okay,
but he was gay, of course, and he was always trying to help people be their best selves, no matter who you are. And he was very big on positivity. Pauly Shore was also this comedian who was back in the '90s, back in the early '90s. A lot of people might not know who that is. He was a somewhat funny comedian. I never really liked him that much.
He's like a real life cartoon character. You know what I mean?
He was a real big jerk back in the '90s to a lot of people. So he kind of burned a lot of bridges in Hollywood.
Oh, I didn't know about that part.
Yeah,
seems like he's trying to bounce back a little though.
Yeah, he's finally starting to bounce back now. You know, he had a drinking problem and stuff like that. So he was dealing with a lot of things back in those '90s, and so he burned a lot of bridges with a lot of people.
I'm not gonna lie, Pauly Shore movies are kind of like a guilty pleasure for me, like Encino Man. I
remember Encino Man. Yeah,
was it We're in the Army Now?
Yeah,
the Biodome movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I remember that one.
Those remember all those movies. Pauly Shore and the girl from Tank Girl. I forget her name.
Yeah, I remember her too. Yeah, I think they used to be together. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if I know they did like some movies together. I don't know if they were together.
They probably like dated casually.
Probably. I'm looking up her name right now. I meant to do this earlier.
I remember Tank Girl.
Lori Petty. Yeah. Him and Lori Petty were like, I don't know, 90s icons. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. When it comes to like the lower scale movies of 90s, it was them two.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't beat Pauly Shore.
Those old movies hold like a special place in my heart, and I would love to go back and like do a marathon of those movies or something.
Yeah.
Do a deep dive or whatever. But anyway, so as you explained, Richard Simmons, workout icon.
Mm-hmm.
Pauly Shore is, Pauly Shore. But they did this movie, and damn it, I got distracted talking about Lori Petty.
Okay, that's fine.
The name of the short is The Court Jester.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's something like Richard Simmons went by back in the day.
Yep.
So I'm going to play the trailer.
Okay.
What's my first rule? Like yourself. Your weight doesn't matter. If you like yourself, you're gonna be fine. But I've been where you are right now. And where I'm right now is I just love myself. Every part of myself. And I think I can show you how to get here.
Please welcome Richard Simmons!
So that's the teaser trailer. I watched it this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10-minute short film, like literally the shortest short film. It's basically a sketch or a skit almost, right?
Yeah.
It's very lighthearted. It's very nice. It's very feel good. It's the main dude in the short is this PA, and no one knows him on set. He's just a PA, right? He's been there for 7 years, but everyone's like, "Oh, you're new here?" No. So they're on the Ellen Show. It's the production for the Ellen Show, and Pauly Shore plays Richard Simmons, and he's doing his Richard Simmons thing, and him and the PA have like this interaction, and that's basically where all that dialogue was from, was him talking to this PA, because at the beginning of the short, the PA is looking at the craft table, and there's like, you got boxes of donuts and popcorn and all this stuff, and then you have like, your carrots and your healthy things, and the PA makes the decision to eat the carrot, right? So Pauly Shore does this thing with Ellen, gets off stage, and then the PA got yelled at because he didn't give Richard Simmons the DVD, his latest DVD that he was promoting. He was supposed to hold it up during the shoot or whatever, but anyway, he got yelled at. So now the PA is staring at the craft table again, and he's thinking about the donut. Well, Richard Simmons comes up and starts to eat the donut, and he has this conversation with the PA, and it's basically like just a motivational speech, and it was good. It's a nice lighthearted short, and it was very well shot. It looked really great. The sound, the production of it all looked really nice, but apparently Richard Simmons, I don't think he's like mad about it, but I guess they had called him up, or they reached out to him to ask him like what he thought of the short. And he just made a comment that he's like, I didn't give them permission to use my name or my likeness in this, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look,
It's understandable.
He's like, I don't want to come back in the limelight. Like I'm chilling in the Caribbean or wherever he's at. Cause he's been living like a really private life.
Yeah. He's been living a private life for years.
The last few years. And now all of a sudden, like, oh, here's this short biopic about you with Pauly Shore of all people. A real life cartoon character, Pauly Shore, is playing you in the short film. What do you think about this? And he's like, no one asked me permission. I don't think he's doing anything legally about it. And honestly, I don't think he can, because it's a short film, and parody law might come in at some point. They're not trying to market it as like this big feature film.
No.
And I think if they wanted to take it to be like a bigger feature film, that's when you have to get permission, and that's when you have to do some other things. But I think they want to make like an actual feature out of this, and I think Pauly Shore is very serious about playing Richard Simmons. I saw some footage where they stopped him at this airport, and they were asking him about what he thought about Richard Simmons, his statement about it. And Pauly Shore was like, well, people change from day to day. Like, he could say that today, he might change his mind tomorrow. He's just like, I respect him, and if he comes around to it, I would love to play him in a movie. Honestly, a very calm, like not Pauly Shore way of answering things. And it reminded me of Cat Williams and the way Cat Williams is on stage and off stage. I almost feel like Pauly Shore might be the same way, because every time I see Pauly Shore stuff, he's in character. But this is like one of the few times that I've seen him just like out of character.
Okay, well, there's two things. Two things is, one thing, it sounds like from what you saw, from what the teaser and stuff like that, and the synopsis and what you gave me, it reminded me of the Mr. Rogers movie, where Tom Hanks. That's what it reminds me of. It got just a abbreviated 10 minutes of it.
I can see that being like the inspiration. I can see that being the spark for this idea.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
The second thing is, I understand where Richard Simmons is coming from.
Of course.
That same thing happened to Mike Tyson when they did a Hulu show, and that was a horrible show, might add. They missed so much stuff on that show, and they never asked him for any permission. The likeness of the guy, the dude, it looked like a very, very bad prosthetics of Mike Tyson. I said, why? Why in the hell would you do this? And he hated that movie. He hated that show. It was raw. Some of it was good and some of it wasn't. And you gotta be really careful when you do this stuff. They just got through doing this with Magic Johnson and the Showtime Lakers that came on HBO Max. As entertaining as that was, they didn't ask permission, and it was still good.
I think the difference comes from those are big companies.
They are,
and this is just like a YouTube channel.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like they got lucky enough to get Pauly Shore in on their thing, but from looking at their channel right now, they're very small, like sketch. Maybe it looks like sketch comedy because they have a bunch of like Purge parody videos and some other parody videos on here. And it seems like recently in the last year or so, they've started doing these short films more.
Yeah.
There's like sneak peeks and trailers and stuff coming out. So it seems like at some point they kind of got a little bit more serious about what they wanted to do. But you can see a clear shift in their content here. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the case is they are small potatoes.
I mean, I wonder what made them just want to do a Richard Simmons short skit or movie, whatever you want to call it, fan film. I wonder what made them want to do that.
Probably because you haven't heard about Richard Simmons in forever.
Well, no, and
he's also an interesting man. Like he's always been kind of a character,
Oh yeah, I mean, look, he definitely should be awarded and commended because he was a nice guy. He was a very nice guy from all accounts that I heard.
Yeah.
Now that's other stuff that you've heard back in the day, but that was never really proven. That was just allegations.
Yeah.
But from all that, he was a very motivational guy that wanted everyone to be their best selves.
Yeah.
Just like Mr. Rogers.
And that's what the 10-minute short does. Like they don't try to make him look like a horrible person. They don't try to go the opposite way with it. They very much like, this is Richard Simmons. This is the character. This is the person he was. Nice, motivational, caring person. I think it's a nice feel good short. If you got 10 minutes, I'd say check it out.
It would have been nice for them to ask, but
it would have been nice. And
I get it.
It could be one of those things too. It's like they were probably lucky enough to get Pauly Shore involved alone, and they might have reached out to Richard Simmons. They might have sent some emails or whatever, and like, hey, we're doing this. We're a YouTube channel. We're not trying to like make money or whatever. But
I mean, I definitely understand why he doesn't want to get drummed up again because the world that we live in now is a vastly different world.
Yeah.
So I understand the type of world that he doesn't want to live in. He lives off the side of the. He probably says, "I want to live on the face of the earth, live off the face of this earth." So I definitely understand why he does not want to relive and drum up the best times and best days of his life.
Yeah.
Because some of those days probably could have been the worst days of his life.
That's true.
So I definitely understand that. And if they do a movie of him, I'll probably watch it. I can't tell you that I'm probably gonna watch a 10-minute film, but if anybody else is interested in watching it, I hope they do, especially our younger viewers.
Yeah,
I know we have like a lot of younger viewers that were not born for Richard Simmons.
Yeah,
like I just happened to kind of catch like the tail innings of him, 1990. So, if you're young and you want to see about this guy, it's definitely somebody you should definitely look at.
Yeah.
Because he's a part of the pop culture icon. Like, he's pop culture.
Not modern day pop culture.
He
was at one time. Yeah.
I'm talking about back in the 90s.
He was a pop culture icon. And I mean, the short doesn't go into his backstory or anything like that. So
of course not.
Yeah, don't try to learn anything from this. It's just like a nice feel good video. And I think it was cool. I think it came out nice. And, hey, if they make a movie cool, they don't have to. It doesn't need to be done.
It doesn't.
I don't even know how hard like the creators are pushing for it. I know Pauly's pushing for it, but also Pauly Shore hasn't acted in much of anything recently nowadays. So an acting job for him would be a godsend.
It'll be a godsend. I'm also curious about how his acting would be in 2024.
Yeah.
Because
he's still very much Pauly Shore. It's just he's a lot older now.
Well, last time I seen Pauly Shore was on Wildin' Out with Nick Cannon. And
he was on
Wildin' Out with Nick Cannon, and things didn't go right. as because they told him because Nick Cannon is an improv show. They do, it's a roasting show. It's already known when you go in. That's what the damn show is about. So, Nick Cannon gives you all the details you will, what to say before the show even starts, weeks before the show starts. And it was coming to this part where they're about to do the freestyle. Freestyles where they do freestyle raps right off the dome.
Oh, this is like early days.
Yeah, this is like the early days of Wildin' Out. And Pauly Shore was on the episode, and he didn't want to roast anybody because he's like, oh, I don't want to offend anybody. Then somebody gonna get upset, and then I don't want anybody to roast me, and then I might get upset. So Nick was like, man, we just having fun, man. It's just jokes. We just having a good time out here. It's just you don't even have to do it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the last time I really saw him. And, it was it wasn't really like a big deal or anything like that, but they tried to make him as much, ingratiate him as much as possible, because I know he probably wasn't the most comfortable person at that time to be on a show like that, Wild Out with a whole bunch of black people with roasting and stuff like that. But for the most part, he was pretty damn funny on the show. He was pretty doggone funny for the time that he was in there. I really enjoyed it.
I'm gonna have to watch that clip later.
Yeah, it was just it was just kind of weird, but
everything's weird with Pauly Shore. That's kind of his aesthetic.
But like I say, like you said earlier, I think he's changed a lot now since his '90s days.
Yeah,
because once you get humbled a lot as you get older.
Yeah,
like you find out that Hollywood really don't need you like you thought they did. Like you were doing these B-level movies, they were only hanging you on from that point on, and then once the new fame comes in, new money comes in, you're out of there.
Yeah.
So Hollywood will humble you real quick. You see how they did Brendan Fraser. Speaking of Encino Man, like you see how they did Brendan Fraser. They did that man raw. They kicked him to the side real quick.
There's some shady stuff behind that too.
Oh yeah, we know it. We know it. There's always some shady stuff around this stuff, around people getting let go of Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I heard about it, but I just didn't watch it. It just didn't capture my interest.
Yeah, I was reminded about it this morning, and I thought I'd check it out and kind of bring it to the table and see what happens. Yeah, cool.
Always good to talk about good old Pauly Shore.
You ready to go to the trailer park?
Oh, we're going to the trailer park? We're going to Pauly Shore to the trailer park.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. If we ever get to the point where we have like animation, I could totally see like an animation of like little stick figures of us jumping in a car and then like bumping down the road to a trailer park.
While there's music going on?
Yeah.
I like that. That sounds funny. That'd be cool to have.
If that ever happens, that's what I envision in my head. Just like a little cartoon, like. I
wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So what we have today for the trailer park is the Roadhouse reboot from Amazon Prime.
Yep.
So what did you think?
Well, give people a little backstory. Look up Roadhouse for me. Roadhouse came out like 1990. I think 1989 or 1990. One of those years. A lot of people might not be familiar with that either. Roadhouse.
I think people are more familiar with Roadhouse than Pauly Shore.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You'd be surprised.
1989, dude.
1989. Okay, good. So synopsis on that, you had my man Patrick Swayze, who was the star of that film back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a complete reboot. It doesn't look anything like the original Roadhouse.
It doesn't.
It does not look anything like it. It was like more of like an adventure. I think the producer or director also did Die Hard too. So, you can kind of tell if you watch Roadhouse, if you watch the trailer, you can kind of see it's like, oh, okay, yeah. It kind of had like a little bit of a Die Hard theme to it because it's got this one guy being a complete badass, a complete action star. So Jake Gyllenhaal is being like a UFC star that can fight. He goes to this bar in Roadhouse, and was it off the Keys of Florida? If I'm not mistaken?
Keys, yep.
Florida Keys. So goes there, miss all his mischief and it's a bunch of ass kickings. That's basically what it is. It's just basically one bit. And then you got Conor McGregor that's in there as well, who looks jacked, might I add.
Yeah, I just saw that he's in there.
I was like, God, man, this guy's jacked. He's basically playing himself, a douchebag.
Yeah.
So he's playing himself. I like the trailer. It looks good. Like Jake Gyllenhaal never does anything wrong, in my opinion. It's very rare that he does trash movies. I'm curious to see what Conor McGregor will bring to the table acting wise. Because
That's a good question.
yeah, I'm curious about
I
this
feel
guy.
like they brought him in as like a consultant for the UFC stuff, and then stipulation was like, well, you got to put me in the movie.
I can see
know what I mean?
McGregor saying that. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, oh, you want me to tell you how to fight like a UFC fighter? Well, I got to be in this movie.
I'm pretty sure they were like,
Roadhouse, the movie about fighting. You're gonna put me in this.
sure, Connor. Right, go right ahead.
Yeah, that's how I can justify it. But
I'm pretty sure they I'm pretty sure they said the same thing too. They like, sure, man, let's do it.
Right.
We don't want to do it. We like put a credible star against Jake Gyllenhaal, but hey, let's do it anyway. And Jake Gyllenhaal looks great too. He looks immaculate shape.
well, I remember there was a picture of him shirtless that came out like maybe a year ago from the shoot, and the shot was in the trailer too. But it was like, oh, this is what Jake Gyllenhaal looks like in Roadhouse, and that was the last time I ever heard anything about it. I didn't realize it was like coming out like already. Really, I kind of forgot about it, but also
I did too.
Yeah, I mean it's an Amazon production too, so that's the unfortunate part, right? It's like it's on Amazon. So
I think they're showing it in the movie theaters too, though.
are they?
Yeah, I think they're gonna do like
Limited release?
that dual limited release deal, which I think is stupid. I like just show the whole thing in the movie theater. Why are you showing it on Amazon Prime?
Right, do one or the other.
Yeah, just do one or the other. I thought we was done with this after COVID. It's like, come on, man.
It's sticking around for a while.
And it comes out in March, if I'm not mistaken, right?
March 21st, 2024.
21st. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. I'll have a good review.
My initial kind of thought on this trailer was, so the trailer opens with him getting in a fight with like some dudes outside of a bar, right? Not even in the bar, outside of the bar. It's like a parking lot fight.
Yeah.
The fight scene looks very fake.
Yeah.
He did a thing where like he slapped everybody.
It didn't look fluid.
None of it looked fluid. It very much looked like CGI, and which is weird because it's a simple fight scene.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they CGI'd this. They couldn't choreograph a fight scene.
Yeah.
And especially because like he's slapping everybody around, and then he goes to slap one guy, and he fakes him out, and he uppercuts him from the other side, and that even looks CG.
Yeah, you're right.
That was my initial reaction. Was
no, you're 100% right because I don't know the fight. I think if you watch a movie like John Wick, you kind of look to see people's ante up their fights a little bit more. Even Beekeeper fights are better.
And let's be honest, it's not like Amazon doesn't have the money to put into this.
Oh yeah, they definitely got the money. Yeah, they definitely got the money to put better fights together.
Yeah, I mean you can pay some production people. You
yeah,
can pay for better production. Amazon, you don't have to. Well, I mean, I guess they're overpaying with CG. I don't know. I don't know how it falls, but
I don't know how much you're paying Jake Gyllenhaal. But I mean, hell, that can't be half your budget.
Yeah, Conor McGregor too. You never know. He might.
You paying that guy? I don't know how much you're paying that guy. Jesus Christ.
Those are your biggest names in the movie.
True. Because I don't think there are any other stars in the movie but them two. But those two.
No, not super huge stars.
Are you gonna watch it?
I may check it out. To be honest, I haven't even seen the original. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. You haven't seen nothing. Jacob ain't seen nothing, yo.
I just know things by osmosis.
Jacob ain't
you
seen
hear
nothing.
about them enough, and then you just know. I don't have to see Roadhouses.
I don't think it will capture the same magic as the
Of course
original
not.
with Patrick Swayze.
No.
Patrick Swayze was above. I'm not just saying it because he's gone. He's gone. He passed away, but he captured the lives of a lot of people.
You think there's gonna be dancing in this movie?
No,
No.
it doesn't look like it's gonna be dancing.
Maybe the restaurant will get rid of that then.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be dancing. If it is, I'll be very shocked. And in fact, who gonna be dancing? Conor McGregor?
Maybe.
Oh hell no, that ain't happening.
No, I feel like if you had Channing Tatum in this movie, there'd be dancing.
They'll probably be dancing. Yeah,
You know what I mean? This could have almost been a Channing Tatum movie. Now that I think about it.
I think they wanted Channing Tatum at one point. He
Did they?
was up for the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they figured that Jake Gyllenhaal be better.
Probably good.
Acting wise,
Yeah.
Acting wise, Jake Gyllenhaal is great. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He, like I said, he rarely ever does a film that's pretty bad.
I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie where he's like a 911 dispatcher?
I like that movie.
Did you like that movie?
Yeah, I like that movie.
I don't know. That was kind of
interesting.
a mad movie to me.
It was an interesting concept. I mean, it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
We didn't get too good of a product of Netflix films. I know this is not a ringing endorsement of Netflix, so I know Netflix is like, well, we don't have to do business with these guys. They know their films are not up to scuff. They know that. Like even they know that Netflix films are never up to scuff. So I wasn't surprised in that movie. But he does some good stuff. What's that movie? Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, where he's like he's some sort of photographer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That didn't he get some awards for that or nominations for that?
I think so. Yeah, I think he did. What's the other movie he did? Watch. Was it Night Watch?
Night Watch.
Yeah.
Where he played a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Darko, of course, classic, and then he was Mysterio.
Southpaw.
Oh yeah, the one about
What else he did? Was it Jarhead or was it another movie?
Why are we doing this? I can just look at his filmography.
Yeah, right.
What are we doing?
I think it was Jarhead, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, he's done some pretty doggone good movies. Oh, he had another movie he did too where he played a sniper that came out the year before last. And it didn't come out because of COVID. And I had to find it on like one of those little websites.
Oh, he was in that weird Velvet Buzzsaw movie. It was like some artsy movie. Remember? That came out a few years ago on Netflix.
I think I remember that.
I don't remember if I watched that or not. I feel like I did, and I might have just forgotten about it.
I think the last movie I saw him in was that movie where he played like a soldier that went to go rescue another soldier from helping him from the Taliban. That was a good movie.
Oh, it was
Ooh, that was good.
What's his name? What's his name? He directed it.
God, man, that was a good movie. It came out 2 years ago. Guy Ritchie.
It was a Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh man, that was badass. I love that movie.
Yeah. And he was also in that ambulance movie that came out.
I think it was called Covenant.
Was it Covenant?
I think so. I think it was called Covenant.
Man, we were doing a bad job.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we gotta start using this computer a lot more.
Anyway, but yeah, he was also in the ambulance movie where like
that was a good movie. See,
I never got to
was
see
fun.
it. I never.
It was funny.
Yeah, it's a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah,
but
it was silly.
It's also one of those movies where you saw the trailer and you're like, okay, I know how this is gonna end.
Yeah, him and Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like it was vintage Michael Bay. It had all the camera effects.
I mean, even in the like the trailer for it, I think the ambulance like drove down the street and there was an explosion out of nowhere.
Oh man, it was Michael Bay at his finest.
Yeah,
it was like an orgasm of just Michael Bay stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. When you get a chance, you definitely gotta watch that one day.
Yeah, I remember I wanted to see it when it was coming out. I just never got to it.
Yeah.
So, but is that it?
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm definitely gonna watch this. Definitely gonna watch this movie when it come out.
All right, nice. Let's get out of here. So I want to introduce a new segment in our Friday show, James. Introducing all kinds of segments this week. So I don't watch a lot of things anymore, but I picked up reading manga, which is Japanese comic books. Still comic books, just different.
Just different.
And the book I'm gonna review today, and I want to do like maybe not every week, but every couple of weeks, maybe I'll bring a book and I'll talk about it. I'll tell you about the story, and we'll kind of go from there. So the book I'm going to read or tell you about today is a Spider-Man manga. So what happened was Marvel's comic book sales haven't been doing so good, or even DC comic book sales haven't been doing so good, right? So what they've decided to do over the last few years is partner with these Japanese comic book artists, and they're creating Japanese mangas. We have Deadpool manga, we got Batman. I got a couple Superman volumes as well to read.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think there was like one about the Joker for Batman or whatever, but there's all kinds. Yeah. So, and the thing I like about manga more than comic books nowadays is mangas are one story, right? So comic books, as you know, it's
continuation.
As you read them, they're continuations, or like they go on for 700 issues, and then also too they have side stories with other books. Manga doesn't do that. If it's 12 volumes of a story, it's 12 volumes of a story. There's no tie-in books to go in with it. There might be sequel series, but there's very rarely where it's like, oh, you're reading one series, now you got to pick up another series to know what's going on here. None of that. It's straight streamlined story. That's kind of why I'm getting into manga more, Okay. And I had bought the Spider-Man manga because I've been curious about it for like months. I've always seen it, and finally I picked it up one day.
Where'd you get it from?
Target, actually, of all places.
Oh, okay, that's odd.
So, I mean, it's also probably at your local bookstore that sell manga.
Nobles.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble or Books A Million or wherever. But yeah. So I'm reading this book, and it's called Spider-Man Fake Red. And the whole premise is, it's not about Spider-Man. It's about this teenager who finds Spider-Man's suit. So remember back in the day where they had the Spider-Man No More storyline?
Oh, you're talking about we have the costume in the trash can?
Yeah, where he throws the costume away. Essentially, the best way to explain it is this picks up right after that.
Oh, so a kid finds the costume.
Yeah, a kid comes across it, and he's like, oh, hey, this is Spider-Man's. What the heck? And he takes it home or whatever. He's like looking into it. Or he finds it as a costume, and I don't know, for whatever reason, he take it home. But he realizes it's Spider-Man's suit. I think 5 days go by and there's like reports of Spider-Man hasn't been seen in like 5 or 6 days or whatever. So essentially this kid starts wearing the suit and starts trying to fight crime. But the thing, he's not a superhero. He's not a superhero. So it's every time he goes out and tries to do something, the next day he wakes up, his body is like all like bruised up and stuff.
Like Batman.
Yeah, essentially. And there's this girl he's got a crush on in school, and she finds out he's got the suit. Well, she thinks he's Spider-Man, right?
Oh, okay.
So naturally, he's like, well, yeah, of course I'm Spider-Man or whatever. And then I think Scorpion shows up. Or no, not Scorpion, Screwball. Have you heard of Screwball?
Never heard of him. That's one Spider-Man character I've never heard of.
She's like a newer Spider-Man villain, but basically she's like a streamer.
Oh, okay. She's well. Okay,
And she tries to do outrageous things. Like she fights Spider-Mans for views or whatever on Twitch, essentially. So Screwball shows up, and so she's threatening to bomb the city or whatever. And this kid's like, "What? I guess I gotta go try to fight her or whatever." And of course, he's like, "This is crazy. This is stupid." But Spider-Man's not around. I gotta do something. He ends up actually being able to stop her. It's just him trying to be Spider-Man while Spider-Man's gone. And eventually, Silk shows up, which you know who Silk is, right?
Yeah, I definitely know who that is.
Okay, so Silk shows up because in this world, Silk's around. So Silk shows up and she's like, "What are you doing with the suit?" Essentially. And she goes, "Spider-Man's been missing for a few days. I don't know where he's at, but you showed up with a suit. So what do you know?" And obviously he doesn't know anything. And she's like, "Okay, well, we're going to keep in touch because I'm trying to find, Spider-Man." Turns out Spider-Man was kidnapped by Mysterio.
Oh, that's about right.
And Mysterio's got him down in the sewers because Mysterio also stole Venom from the Life Foundation.
That's about right.
And so he gives Peter the Venom symbiote because this is Peter's introduction to the Venom symbiote in this book, right? Mysterio kidnaps Spider-Man, gives him the Venom symbiote, and there's like flashes to Peter in the sewer, and he's struggling with the Venom symbiote. Sometimes he's Venom, sometimes he's trying to fight it off.
It's like the animated series, just kind of fighting it off.
Yeah,
the usual.
And he's repeating, great power, great responsibility, that kind of stuff. Eventually, Silk finds her way into the sewers because Silk and Spider-Man have like this primordial connection because they were bitten by the same spider and all that kind of stuff. So she finds her way in the sewer, and lo and behold, there's Venom. She starts to fight Venom, and she's calling our main character, whose name is Yu. YU is his name. And she sent him a text message that she was going down into the sewer. So he gets a text message and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I gotta go help." Well, at this point, Venom's full of Venom, raging and fighting Silk, and he shows up and he's trying to fight off Venom and all this stuff. And there's like a scene where I think they're fighting near a church or something. Or really, he's running away from Venom. He's not fighting Venom. He's not he has no powers.
He has no powers.
He can barely web sling.
He'll die.
Yeah, he's fighting for his life. He's not fighting Venom. He's literally trying to.
I'm curious to see how he's web slinging.
Not even really web
Was it
slinging.
like a can in his arm or something?
No. I mean, it's got the web fluid.
Oh, it's got the web fluid in there.
It is Spider-Man's suit.
Well, you know why? Okay, because with some Spider-Mans, he doesn't have the web fluid.
Sometimes it's organic webs.
That's what I was thinking of. Because in Tobey Maguire, when he just had organic web.
Yeah. So no, this is it's in the suit, and there's the web fluid. But
okay.
Anyway, so he notices the church, right? So eventually he rings the bell to knock Venom's suit off, or mostly off, and he notices it's Peter, and he gives him the mask. He's like, "Hey, you're my hero," and all this cheesy comic booky stuff, right? So then Peter is able to take control of the suit, and then he emerges with the black suit. That's how he gets the black suit in this story.
Oh, okay.
So he shows up with the black suit, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for saving me, kid, blah, blah, blah." And then Mysterio shows up, and Mysterio, super villain. "You ruined my plans," and Mysterio does a quick monologue on his backstory.
Yeah, the usual monologue villain.
Yeah, he's a stunt man, and Mysterio backstory, right? And so now this kid and Spider-Man are fighting off Mysterio, who is basically causing all these illusions of the Sinister Six. So you get Rhino, you get Scorpion, you get Sandman, you get all these people. They're all fighting him and whatnot, and they save the day. That's the end of the story, Not to spoil too much, but obviously
they're going to save the day.
Obviously they win. I kind of explained it poorly, but I'm not good at explaining things.
That's fine.
However, it's a good story. And reading it, I was like, this is a great story. This would make a great movie. Because just the idea of this random teenager finding the suit and Spider-Man's gone, but someone's got to be Spider-Man. Someone's got to fight crime and save face or whatever. So he takes up the mantle, not even in a good way. He's not even really trying to be Spider-Man, right? At first he's kind of doing it because it's fun, but then he realizes like how dangerous it is, and you get all that. But then like he's stopping thuggers. He's stopping muggers and stuff at first, and that's kind of okay. But then, you know, Scorpion or Screwball or somebody shows up and he's like, oh no, this is really terrifying. So just to see this dude struggle trying to stay alive fighting these people.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that done before.
Yeah.
In movies and different animated series.
Right.
I think Batman, I think especially, I forgot what it was though. I forgot because as you were running down his story, I was like, I've seen this done before.
Yeah, right. It's not. Yeah, it's not entirely original.
It would have been nice to have that being adapted to like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's.
You're right.
You know, especially when he threw his spider.
You're right.
You know, he threw it in the trash can. Because in the movie, they had how they did it was, you know, Trash Man sees the mask and costume, takes it to Jonah Jameson. Jonah Jameson
Right.
hangs it up. Boom.
Right.
That was it.
Right.
So it would have been nice to have that little part thrown in there. Something like a little cool like that. Like Superman, even Superman did something similar to that.
Yeah.
When Superman had died from Doomsday.
Yeah.
You know, all these different Supermans trying to take over.
Yeah.
They're trying to clean the world up. So yeah, I think they could have definitely done something like that in the movie.
You're right. I mean, I think they still could if they were smart enough. I think you could fit this into whatever they're doing currently with the Sonyverse, because the Venom, because the Venom they introduced in this doesn't have the symbol, right? He's
Just got Venom.
a Venom symbiote first, right? He gets stolen from the Life Foundation. So I was like, okay, cool. Like you can end the third Venom off with it, like maybe some company comes in and takes it off of Tom Hardy, right? That's how the third movie ends. Then you begin this one with this kid. You got to incorporate Madam Web, right? Because this is all connected. So you incorporate Madam Web again, like I said last Friday, 30 years later, right?
Yeah.
This will be like 30 some odd years later, because the Spider-Man in this is an adult Spider-Man. He's not a teenager. The main character is a teenager.
So he's not in college or anything like that.
No, he's straight up. It's like he's been Spider-Man for 10 years already, right? So like, yeah, 30 years later, this kid's walking around. Madam Web contacts him through the Great Web or whatever. Tells him, "Hey, Spider-Man's missing. His suit's in this alley. You know, I'm contacting you for whatever. You can change it up. You can write it to make it make sense. But that's how he gets the suit. And then you can have this movie where this kid's trying to find out like where Spider-Man is, and at the same time he's fighting off these villains or a villain.
It sounds like a good plan. I think if they were to do something like that, I feel like they would take part of that. They wouldn't take all of it though.
No, I don't think you would.
Yeah.
I don't think you would, because this story. I mean, you can include the Sinister Six, but the amount of characters in here, it's a lot for a movie.
That's a lot to ask for a movie. Yeah.
But I think there's some good stuff in here, and this has been out since like 2019, so this is not even like fresh and new. So if say someone at Sony had somehow gotten a hold of this a couple of years ago, like I can see how this could fit into a Sonyverse if they were to do it. And I mean, I know they're not going to do it. This isn't me going like, this is what's going to happen next. It's just,
in other words, you could take inspiration from this book.
yeah,
A lot of inspiration, like most movies do, like James Gunn is doing with Supergirl or Superman Legacy. Take inspiration from the book and try to incorporate it into your movie. You know, and that's what they could possibly do. Will they do that? No. But you know,
but then you never know. They might incorporate some elements.
They
don't
might,
know yet.
They might at this point, because I have like I said last week, I have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
I don't think they know what the hell they're doing at this point. So I don't know what the development of their plan is.
Yeah,
but they're gonna have to give us a Spider-Man eventually.
Yeah,
you just can't keep doing this.
And I think this would be a neat way to do it, because essentially, especially because they're doing that whole workaround with trying not to use Spider-Man, and I think it might have to do with their deal with Disney.
Yeah.
Because I know Disney's still trying to use them or whatever, so it might have something to do with that. Yeah. So if you're trying to find a workaround where you're not using Peter Parker Spider-Man, this would be an interesting way to do it. This would be an interesting story to tell. My main point was to just really tell you about the book, because I thought the story was interesting and fun enough, and I don't know, I want to try to do like manga reviews.
Okay.
So, but I'd recommend trying to read it if you get a chance. It's definitely a good story. And the first couple of chapters were kind of okay, and then at a certain point, it clicked. I think when he started fighting Screwball, it really clicked into how good the story was. Because Because then it's like, okay, this kid's just struggling
Yeah.
this whole time. It's that classic underdog story,
Which people
right?
love.
And he's not even superpowered, so it's even more of an underdog.
Which
You know what I
people
mean?
love also.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why Superman's been struggling so hard.
He's not an underdog.
He's not an underdog.
Yeah.
He's already on top.
He's got all the superpowers.
Yeah, he's got all the superpowers.
There was a time where they were just giving him a power for everything,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, then that's where they kind of went wrong with him. But
Now you can tell the fans too that you can also read the book from. It's different from a usual graphic novel because you're reading it from back.
yeah, you are. It's going the opposite way. So it takes some time to get used to, but honestly, it's not too much different. But
Which I think is cool, by the way.
yeah, I highly recommend it. If you want to get in the manga, but you're still from the comic book world, this is a good bridge. And if you like Spider-Man, it is a good Spider-Man story. And Spider-Man comes in at the end, so he's not gone the entire time. Like there are some good quippy Spider-Man lines and scenes in this movie, or in this book. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just thought it was neat because off the back of last Friday, I was like, oh, this would be a good adaptation for the Sony Spider-Verse. So I just wanted to include that. That wasn't the point of this segment. The point of the segment was to review this book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you. Like I say, it would be cool to see them do something like that. I don't see it happening, unfortunately. So this is like one of those things that we really have to going to have to wait and see.
And again, the book is called Spider-Man Fake Red. The story and art is by Yusuke Osawa. And this came out in 2019. And this is like the only story in the series. It doesn't continue after this. It's a one shot. You don't really have to continue like 15 different volumes or whatever. It's a one and done. In the back of the book, the author says he hopes to make another one someday. And to my knowledge, as of now, I don't know if he's been able to make another one. So
yeah, unfortunately.
But it's a good book. I'd recommend it. So,
Okay.
and that's it. That's my manga review segment.
That's it. You got anything else you want to talk about?
That's all I got, man. This Friday is jam packed.
Yeah,
Our Fridays are getting bigger and bigger, James.
Well, I mean, movies are starting to come out more.
Movies are starting to come out. You know, we're
And then we got
getting
some other movies.
content.
Then we also got movies that's ready to start shooting.
Yeah.
Or we got some movies that already ended with Deadpool and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. And when we know more information about that, we'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
You know,
There's nothing to really talk about right now.
otherwise,
Deadpool.
yeah, it's Deadpool wrapped, and that's about it. Like,
Fantastic Four, they should be announcing the cast soon. I don't know when, but when they do, we'll let you know.
exactly. We'll talk more about that when we get more information.
Yeah.
So. But hey, that's all I got today, guys. So if you want to contact us, you can email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. Email us what you think about this Spider-Man manga, or email what you think about the Barbie situation with the Oscars, or what you think about the Richard Simmons Pauly short film. Email us whatever you want, and we'll read it and we'll discuss it. You can find us on Instagram at onthego with Jacob and James. It's all one word. You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio. You can find James on Instagram at
9794.
Thank you. We also have a YouTube channel now. We're posting show segments. We're posting shorts. We're posting the full podcast episodes. We're posting a lot of stuff on there. So go follow us on YouTube. Check us out. Share us with your friends. Like the bell. Subscribe. Do all the things you got to do to keep us in your life forever and ever and ever. I think that's about it. Is that all our handles? Yeah, I think that's it. So, hey, without further ado, I'm on the go. James is on the go. We're all on the go.
Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy.